Have you ever heard about the secret of the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit? Not only is it a reflection of quantum mechanics, but it's also a reflection of our minds and our bodies. Let me explain. So the brain is made of multiple parts, a lot of which can be broken down in many different ways. You have 12 cranial nerves, it's septenary, so it's made of 7 as well, but there's really 3 big parts to it that have to do with 3 specific glands. That's 2 glands having to do with the pituitary and the 1 singular pineal gland. Often referred to as your third eye, the pineal gland acts as essentially that father role of the Trinity. It is essentially the source gland that determines a lot of our circadian rhythms, our cycles, how we're able to make decisions on a very deep conscientious level. Alternatively, the pituitary gland is broken into 2 separate parts, anterior and posterior, also called different names too. The posterior pituitary gland is the one associated with the sun archetype of the Trinity and has to do with our stress level. If our stress level is not good, then it ends up inflaming parts of our brain and our limbic system, causing it to put pressure on our brains, which results in harder decision making. So stress level is important because that posterior pituitary has to deal with kidney, adrenals, and those types of cortisol-like biochemicals, which can result in inflaming our brains negatively. The anterior pituitary is the feminine, Holy Spirit, female motherly gland, which secretes milk-like substances that travel down our brainstem and feed our bodies during specific times of the month and day. This also is kind of like the mother and the son are together, and in the triangle of the Trinity, the father's at the top, which would be the pineal, and then the 2 on the sides of each other would be the 2 parts of the pituitary gland. And when you can have all 3 of these work in tandem with each other, it ends up assisting with healing and rejuvenating, enlightening the brain. This is where you get the all-seeing eye and a lot of that kind of iconography and symbolism. But in reality, if you want to look at the entire body, the heart, the gut, these are all different types of brains, so to speak, that we have. So really, this is multiple layers of how this is incorporated in our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. The best way to utilize the information and the energy of the Trinity is to understand it as thoughts with the Father, feelings with the Mother, and action with the Son. If you can incorporate all of those faculties, then you will be the best version of yourself. That is essentially what allows you to be in a state of Christ consciousness. I built an AI tool that you can have conversations about esoteric topics such as this, and you can ask it tons of questions about yourself as well from a psychological perspective. I also have an online university with over 60 people now, so go check that out too. See you there.